That seller is trying to sell stuff. That seller is trying to make us money. I'm telling you, eBay's got eyes everywhere. They're watching us. They want to see us making money. My phone broken? Where the cha-chings at? Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about the secret formula for achieving daily consistent sales on eBay. One of the most frequent questions that I get on almost a daily basis is, what do I need to do in order to have daily consistent sales on eBay? How many items do I need to list? What kind of items do I need to sell? What exactly is it that I need to do to ensure that I have daily consistent sales on eBay? So that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Pretty soon, the secret formula is going to no longer be secret because I'm about ready to spill all the beans. Because that's exactly what I'm here for. My YouTube channel is all about helping sellers grow their businesses and sell more. So if this is the first time we are meeting, hello, my name is Lindey. It's a pleasure to meet you. If you are interested in becoming an online seller and you want to learn how to better your business, do make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post a new video. And if you like and appreciate content like this, do also make sure to hit that thumbs up button because it really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm and it supports my YouTube channel in more ways than I can express. So on my YouTube channel, I have a video series that's called Frequently Asked Fridays. If you have never seen one of those videos, I will make sure to link a full playlist down in the video description. But in that video series, I ask you guys to give me all of the questions that you have, and without a doubt, every single week, I am asked about getting daily consistent sales on eBay. And I have answered that question in one episode, but of course, I'm trying to fill those videos with as much different information as I can, so I can't really elaborate in the answer as much. But because I keep getting that question so much, I figured I would go ahead and make a dedicated video. That way I can go in as much detail as possible and let you guys know what kind of secret formula there is to achieving those daily consistent sales on eBay. But the first thing that I have to make sure that I say to you guys before we start getting into all of the numbers, figures, and this formula that I've been referring to, you have to understand that this is not an exact science. I'm telling you guys, if this was an exact, precise science, we would all be achieving the exact number of sales that we want to on a regular basis. But it's not, so we can't. Getting daily consistent sales is not about a magic number that you have to hit. It's not about listing a certain amount of items. It's not about having a certain number of items available for sale. It's not about pricing your items at a particular percentage above your competition or below your competition. There is no exact formula that fits every single seller. An online business is not one size fits all. So before I go into this formula, I have to make sure that you understand that. Just because these exact numbers and this formula that I'm about ready to give you might work for me, it might not work for you. That's why I'm also going to give you this information so that you can actually tailor the data to reflect your own business, so that you can take this formula and you can apply it to your business and you can manipulate it in any way that you need to, so that you can hopefully achieve the sales that you're wanting to achieve. The very first step in achieving consistent sales on eBay is the formula, but that is not the only part to it. So we're going to go over this formula first, and then afterwards I'm going to tell you the other things that you need to do in conjunction with this formula in order to achieve the results you're looking for. Now, in order for this formula to work, you need to find out your magic number. Your magic number is going to be the number of items that you have listed in your eBay store to get an average of one sale per day. You'll know what your number is once you have achieved at least one sale per day for 30 days straight. When you've reached that consistency of at least one sale, take a look at the number of items that you have listed in your eBay store at the time, and that will be your magic number. The reason why this formula is not going to work if you don't have your magic number is because there are so many variables that determine sell-through rate. The variables include things like the categories that you are trying to sell in, if you're trying to sell in a single category versus multiple categories at the same time, how often you are consistently listing merchandise in your eBay store, how expensive or inexpensive the items that you are listing are, the time of year that you are listing these items, the region in which your business resides and where you are listing the inventory from, whether or not not you're selling new or used merchandise, whether or not you're a top-rated seller, a top-rated plus seller, or just a standard seller, whether you have a premium store, a basic store, or just an individual account, how often you ship your packages, what your handling time is. I'm telling you guys, all of these factors play a significant role in your sell-through rate. This is exactly why this is not a one-size-fits-all formula. Every seller out there has different circumstances and different variables. That's why one basic formula is not going to fit everybody's needs. So the first thing that you need to do is find your number. That means that you just need to continue to list merchandise on eBay until you start noticing that you're achieving at least one sale a day for 30 days straight. Okay, so now that you know how to find your own magic number, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the basic formula that you can later adapt in order to grow your business to achieve a certain amount of daily sales to reach an income goal. A very, very basic guideline for a consistent sell-through rate is 0.5 to 1% sell-through rate every single day. So that means with this basic guideline, you would need to have 200 active available listings to sell 1 to 2 a day. That means that you have a 15 to 30% sell-through rate over the course of 30 days. So since we're using this general guideline to try to build a eBay store and get a certain number of daily sales, we're going to pretend like your eBay store has 200 active items and 200 items is your magic number. So that means that if 200 is your magic number, that you are needing to at least maintain 200 active items in order to consistently sell at least 1 a day. So that means in order to maintain that number, you will have to list just as much as you sell. So if you sell 1 item, you need to list 1 item in order to keep your active items the same. If you sell 2, you need to list 2. If you sell 3, you need to list 3. Because if you don't list as much as you sell, then your number is going to drop down and that could result in losing those consistent sales. Now, before I go any further, I do feel the need to express that this is not an exact science. I'm going to get more into details later. Right now, we're just talking about basic numbers so that you can get an idea of this formula I've been referring to. So now you have the basic idea. You have to list as much as you sell in order to maintain your magic number. Let's say that 1 to 2 a day is just not enough. Let's say with your projected profits, you need to sell at least 10 to 15 items a day in order to reach a weekly sales goal. This is how you're going to figure out how much more you need to list in order to hit those goals. So now let's say you're ready to grow your eBay store. You know that you need to sell at least 10 items a day, so you need to find your new magic number to get a listing goal so that you can strive to increase your daily sales to get them to the point you need them. So that means that you are going to need to list enough to maintain and then add a number of listings determined by your sell-through rate. I know that that probably confused you, so let me give you an example. Let's use the example of a 30% sell-through rate. That would mean that with 200 active items, you would sell 60 items over the course of the month. That is a 30% sell-through rate. So now what you're going to do is when you sell 2 items, you need to list 2 more items in order to maintain your active sales magic number. But then you're going to use your sell-through rate to add listings to achieve a new daily sales number. So when you're looking at a 30% sell-through rate, that means that you are going to need to list 10 additional items in order to increase your sales by 3. Because having 10 items available for sale, selling 3 of them is what equates your 30% sell-through rate. Because the goal here is to not only list enough to maintain, but also increase the number of items that you are listing to then increase the amount of daily sales that you have. So if you sell 2, that means that you need to list 2 plus an additional 10. Because with a 30% sell-through rate, that would mean that you would hopefully go from 2 to 5 sales if you listed 12 items for every 2 you sold. Hopefully this math is making sense. I didn't realize how hard this was going to be to explain until I sat down to record this video. So I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. And then of course, if your sell-through rate is lower, you'll have to list more items in order to get that many sales. In that same example, if you have 200 active items, but you're only selling 1 a day, that's around a 15% sell-through rate over 30 days, which means means if you sold one item and listed the one item to maintain plus an additional 10, that would mean with a 15% sell-through rate that every one item that you sold, you would need to list 11 items in order to increase your daily sales from 1 sale a day to 2 or 3. And this is one of the reasons why sell-through rate is such an important factor when setting your listing goals and achieving the daily sales that you're looking to achieve. But selling more items on eBay is not always about just listing more stuff. I know that sellers have the mentality, list, get it all online, keep listing. If you don't have enough sales, just keep listing. But I am here to tell you that just listing more stuff will not solve the problem. And that goes back into me reiterating exactly how many variables come into play that determines the amount of sales that you have. There are some categories that sell through a lot faster than others. For instance, technology and electronics tend to sell through a lot faster than antiques. Or personal care items might sell through a lot faster than clothing. The kind of merchandise you're selling plays a big role in how fast items will sell and how consistently you'll see those sales. Because I have found that the category in which you are selling and your price points are the main determining factors in your sell-through rate. If you've been looking at your numbers and you realize that your sell-through rate is just really, really low and you're wanting to find something with a higher sell-through rate, if you're wanting to possibly add categories to your store or switch categories completely, if you're really struggling with finding suppliers, there's actually a really amazing liquidation guide out there that is a wealth of information. When I was getting into doing liquidation, I read through this guide. It also includes a list of suppliers all over the country. The guide itself is around 150 pages or so, and then there's an additional bonus guide that has a ton of reputable suppliers, wholesale, liquidation, all across the United States. It's even separated by the kind of merchandise that they sell. So if you're wanting to branch off into another category, you can actually look for suppliers based on that category in this guide. This guide was developed by Product Sourcing 101, and I found it so helpful that I actually reached out to them and asked them for a partnership so that I could be affiliated with the guide and bring it to all of my viewers. Now, this guide is not free. It does cost $77, but if you are wanting to branch out into other categories, if you're really struggling with where to find suppliers, if you're wanting to learn some more in-depth information about liquidation, this guide is incredible for that. So I will put my affiliate link down in the video description. I'll also pin it to the top pinned comment in the comment section. If you are interested in checking out this guide, it has a lot of information in there that can help you find new suppliers and hopefully branch off into some categories that have a little bit higher of a sell-through rate so that you can increase those daily sales that you have if your current category is just really slow going and the growth is just not what you were expecting to see at this point in your business. So that is the basic numbers part of the formula. But as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, that is not the full story. That is just the basic formula to get going in order to try to increase the number of daily sales that you have. There is so much more to it than that. Remember, I told you from the very beginning, there are a lot of variables. Listing a certain amount of items is just one teeny tiny little part of the equation. The next biggest part of this formula is activity. Activity is crucial when you're wanting to achieve consistent daily sales. If you've followed my YouTube channel for a while now, you've probably heard me use the tagline, my favorite tagline, an active store is a happy store. That phrase basically states that eBay likes active sellers. Hence, an active store is a happy store. The more active you are, the more sales you can achieve. eBay is a page that has an algorithm. eBay exists to make money off of its sellers. Therefore, eBay supports the sellers that are actively trying to make money for them and make money for eBay. So the more active you are, the better results that you are going to see. So now let's start talking about what activity is, what exactly you should be doing, and what is considered the best kinds of activity. And again, all of this is just from my point of view. I am not an eBay employee. I do not do coding for eBay. This is all information based off of my own personal experiences from selling on eBay for 14 years now. The first bit of activity that I find to be the most significant one is the use of Markdown Manager and running promotions in your eBay store. Now, you do have to have some form of store subscription in order to run markdown sales or use promotions of any kind, but in my opinion, it is well worth the store subscription, especially if you're planning to actually grow an eBay business. You definitely want to have a store subscription. I know that just regular basic eBay accounts, you can list up to 200 items completely free and only pay for them after they sell. But I find that the use of Markdown Manager and running those markdown sales and being able to do promotions throughout your eBay store, I feel it's well worth at least paying for a starter store in order to have that capability. If you have a 12-month commitment, I think the starter store is only about $5 a month. $5 a month, that's $1.25 a week. It is so worth it in order to run sales. Because here's the thing, like I previously mentioned, eBay is a platform that only makes money when the sellers sell stuff. So when sellers are running markdown sales, or if sellers are running promotions to try to intrigue buyers into purchasing their merchandise, that is going to trigger something in eBay's algorithm that says that that seller is active, that seller is trying to sell stuff, that seller is trying to make us money. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If my store is not running a markdown sale, I will instantly notice that something is not right. If I forget to start a sale, if my store just goes on flat pricing, no promotion, nothing, it is crickets in my eBay store. I swear, it'll be like a Thursday morning and I'll be walking around going, my phone broken? Where the cha-ching's at? And then it'll click, it'll be like a light bulb moment and I'll realize I completely forgot to start another series of markdown sales. Come to find out, I start a new markdown sale and like magic, like clockwork, the sales start coming in. That's why I'm saying with my personal experience, running markdown sales is by far the best form of activity that I preach when it comes to getting those consistent sales. And it doesn't even have to be a really high percentage off. That's another question I get a lot is what percentage off do I run? Usually I only run between 5 and 10%. That's it. It's just something about running a markdown sale that just triggers all of those good feelings in the eBay algorithm. There's something about seeing that price slash through on the customer side that makes them think, I should probably buy that. It's cheaper. So not only does the eBay algorithm like it, but it's a marketing tactic when it comes to what your buyers see and the urgency they feel to buy. Some other forms of activity that I feel are also very important is shipping your items daily. Because I've said it before, it seems like every time I do shipping, when I start printing shipping labels, I will get 1 or 2 sales while I'm printing shipping labels. And it only happens when I'm printing shipping labels. I've also heard some sellers swear that if they print a shipping label within 30 minutes of a sale, that they will get more sales. Another really good form of activity is going in and revising your listings. So you can select 1 or 2 items to click through and revise, maybe up your price a penny, maybe change your title a little bit, and then just save it. That's considered a form of activity because what that is telling the eBay algorithm is that you are an active seller that is making changes to their listing to hopefully make it more enticing to buyers to buy. Another huge form of activity, I probably should have talked about this right after Markdown Manager because this is my next favorite form of activity. I always say that you should put best offer on your listings, even if you don't want to take a huge discount on a product, even if you are willing to take $1 less, make sure to put best offer on your products because I feel like best offer is another form of activity that eBay's algorithm really likes because giving the buyer the ability to send a best offer can trigger more sales for eBay. And that's the form of activity I love because I'm telling you, whenever I accept a best offer, I will get another sale within an hour or 2 without fail. That is one of the reasons why I feel like my sell-through rate has increased so much, not just because I'm selling a category that has a little bit higher of a sell-through rate than other categories out there, but because I am so willing to accept best offers because I feel like accepting that first best offer is kind of like the starting domino. You accept a best offer and then they just start falling into all of these sales. If I was always countering or declining offers, I do not think that my sell-through rate would be nearly as high. That's why I always say, don't be greedy. If you're able to make a profit when someone sends you an offer, go ahead and accept it because it's going to trigger even more sales later on in the day. So accepting best offers is definitely a significant form of activity I think every seller should do if you want to have more consistent daily sales. Another form of activity that I know people kind of laugh at when I mention it is just simply opening up your eBay app or going into your eBay store on the computer. I'm sorry, but I think that the eBay's algorithm has eyes everywhere because if I don't open the app for an entire day, my sales reflect that. Even if I'm running a sale, even if I'm accepting best offers, even if I'm doing shipping every day, even if I'm doing all of the other things that I always talk about on my YouTube channel, if I don't open the eBay app at all, my sales decrease. If I notice that my sales are slow, I will just simply open up my eBay app, I'll scroll through some of my active listings and I'll get an offer and then I'll accept the offer. And then it's like that domino effect. A whole bunch of sales come in. Telling you, eBay's got eyes everywhere. They're watching us. And they want to see us active. They want to see us making money. Another really good form of activity that's very similar to accepting best offers is also sending out offers to your watchers. So now just because you have a listing that has a watcher on it, it doesn't necessarily mean that that listing qualifies to send offers to those watchers. You have to wait until eBay prompts you and tells you that that listing is eligible to send offer to watchers. But that's a really good form of activity because it's not just about sending offers and waiting for the buyers to accept it. There has been many times where I have sent offers to the watchers that I have on an item, and then someone comes by within a couple of hours and pays full price for the item that I just sent out offers on. So it's not just about the buyer accepting your offer. It's about getting some excitement on that listing that will possibly get it a better search placement that can result in a sale that has nothing to do with the buyer that you sent the offer to. The bottom line here is just to be active. You cannot sell consistently. You cannot have a daily sales number that you're happy with if you are not an active seller. You have to be present and you have to be active. You have to actually show up if you want those sales. So hopefully, if you are able to find your magic number, you can use that magic number to find your sell-through rate and then use that sell-through rate to hopefully set a listing goal for yourself so that you're able to achieve the number of sales you're hoping to get on a daily basis in order to have the increase in income that you're hoping to have over the course of a month. If you're wanting to consider branching off into other categories and looking to source a different way, I will go ahead and link that product sourcing 101 liquidation guide down in the video description. It's also pinned to the top comment of the comment section. And don't forget to be an active seller, because if you are spending all of that time listing information, if you buy the guide and you're sourcing different kinds of merchandise, none of that is going to matter if you're an absent seller. It's only when you put all of it together does this formula work. Listing items and finding your magic number, figuring out your sell-through rate, increasing your listings to reflect that sell-through rate to achieve a higher number of daily sales, and then being an active seller on eBay's site. It's only when you do all of these things together in conjunction will you actually have the consistency that you're looking for. But please remember that this is not as simple as just listing more to sell more. If that was the case, all of us would be getting the exact number of sales that we want to get on a daily basis. I'm just hoping that this basic outline helps to guide you so that you can try to achieve those consistent daily sales that you're striving for. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and videos like it, please do give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that you like and appreciate this kind of content. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing and ring that notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post a new video. I've left a lot of useful information for you down in the video description, also pinned to the top comment of the comment section. And thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you with my next video. Bye-bye.